This is fantastic. I got David. David, how you doing?
Bobby, I am so excited to be with you. You are fulfilling a lifelong aspiration dream I've had.
Oh, that's very cool. Well, I talked to your boss,
Oh, yeah?
Karen.
Oh,
She
my
was
wife.
yeah, well, okay. She's fantastic. You got a good thing going there. I like what you guys are doing.
Oh, thank you. She is fantastic. I would agree with you there.
And for those of you that don't know what they're doing leadership stuff. So for all you crappy leaders out there, why don't you talk to these people because they're really good? Yep, right? That's a good plug, right?
Thanks, Bobby. Absolutely.
So,
We love working with leaders to help them get results without losing their soul.
yeah, the 5 good leaders out there, you're on your own. But more people are not. There's more bad leaders than good leaders, right?
Well, we're all in process. It's like parenting. All of us can use another step, another tip, another way to be a more effective leader.
Well, they're very lucky that they got you guys to do it.
Oh,
So,
thank you, Bobby.
So you're doing all that work. You're doing the workshops. You're teaching the leaders. You're working with adults that are acting like kids and then trying to get them to be adults. That's got to be draining.
Oh, it can be at times. Absolutely.
So what do you do for fun? What do you do for fun to clear your head and get away from all that, get all that stuff cleared out? What do you do for fun?
That is such an important question because I think we don't focus on that enough. But if you're going to lead, you have to recharge your batteries. You're going to do anything, you have to recharge your batteries. For me, one of the best ways to do that is hiking. I'm from the state of Colorado in the United States originally, and we've got
that's a great state. They got
50
I
plus.
love their mountains. I love their streams. I love their salmon, very fresh salmon.
I've caught some of that salmon, eat some of the salmon. It's good stuff. Those mountains, there's over 14,000 foot mountains in that state. And so one of the things I do is I hike those peaks as often as I can.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah, I've walked up 30 of those. So
oh my God.
Yeah.
So how did you get started with that? What was the first time that made you decide, I'm going to go walk up to that peak?
A friend invited me. I had a friend named Mike, my freshman year of high school, and he and his mom would go hiking all the time. And he said, why don't you come do this? And we did. And that put a bug in me, and I have never looked back.
So what's the scariest thing that ever happened to you on a hike?
Ooh.
Because we like to scare some people sometimes on their hikes, my cousins and I.
Yeah, you do. Hey, you might like what happened to me. That very first hike, I was walking across. You start very early in the morning on these things, and there was some ice over some mud. And all my friends, they walked around it because they didn't want to get their boots muddy, but I had brand new boots. So I said, I'm just going to walk over it. And I walked over this thin crust of ice, which broke, and I sank up to my waist in this thick, sucking mud.
That's not pleasant.
No, and it took a long time to dig me out of there, and it almost pulled my boots right off my feet, and so that was a little frightening.
So you went from new boots to used boots really fast.
Instantly, yes. And I had new clothes on that day too. I remember I had a new pair of shorts, so they were not new anymore.
So you learned a valuable lesson.
Yes. Don't show off just because you think you could just, take the route. Sometimes the well-traveled route is the right route.
That's right. And so now what's been the most inspiring thing that ever happened to you on the hike?
Oh my goodness. So many moments. So when I was in my young 20s, I injured my back.
Wow.
I had a disc that blew up, and I had to have surgery.
Like an L4, L5 thing?
Exactly. And in fact, that might be exactly the one.
That hurts.
Yeah, it hurt. I couldn't walk. It was miserable. Couldn't walk, couldn't sleep. And over time, before the surgery, my body constricted, and I lost my strength and everything. And so my rehab goal was to hike up another one of those mountains. And so I rehabbed after the surgery and started walking and all the things, and it was painful. But when I chose the same mountain that I had done as my very first one with my friend.
Oh, wow, that's smart.
Yeah, when I got up to the top of that peak, there were some tears for sure.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, because when you hurt yourself like that, what happens is it's all in your head. You think it's going to happen again, like it doesn't happen, and then you're like, oh my God, that really hurts. That's crazy, and then it's really hard to get it out of your head.
That is so true, Bobby. So true. Yeah, it's in your head. And so, that was a way to get it out of your head. And
that's right.
I find that with hiking and walking in general is it's almost as if once I start walking, my thoughts become clearer. They flow, I come up with ideas. I do writing in my head, and then I can go back and hit the keyboard. But yeah, so many good things about it.
The key is just to get out of your head and into your body. That's really
Exactly.
That's exactly it. So what tips would you give people that are leaders, that have challenges giving tough feedback?
Oh, for leaders that have challenges giving tough feedback, the reason that it's tough, usually there's two reasons. One is that we're worried that you're worried you're going to damage relationships.
Right.
And you don't want to drive people away, or you just don't know how to do it. And those two things intersect. So
correct. Yeah.
To address the first one is recognize that if someone is not performing well and you don't address it, you're not doing them any favors.
It's not going to magically get better.
No, and in fact, you're hurting them.
Right.
They're sitting in a place where they are underperforming. They probably know it. Most people do. Maybe not everybody, but 3/4 of them, they know it. And so if you don't do anything about it, you're slowly torturing them because you don't have the confidence and courage to help them out.
Right.
And then the second thing I would say is that there are specific tools you can use to plan for and have those conversations in a way that help you achieve the results and build the relationships. We share some of those in our book and all that kind of thing. But a couple pointers would make your observations about behavior.
Right.
Something that you specifically notice, not an attitude, not a feeling or emotion. Invite them into the conversation. What do you think's going on here? And invite them to come up with the answers and solutions. And sometimes you need to help reinforce why you're asking what you're asking and the bigger meaning behind it. And do those things and then have a follow-up conversation and plan for that. Most of the time, that's going to make those conversations a lot easier and clear up 95% of the small issues that can really bother you.
Yeah, that's good. I always notice that people that avoid confrontation end up creating more confrontation.
Boy, isn't that the truth? Yeah.
No, it's like if you say you're afraid of confrontation, then why are you creating more confrontation?
Yeah. Well, I like to say, hey, as a leader, it's not if problems, it's which problems.
Yeah,
you're gonna have problems. So which set do you want? The set where you're avoiding things and creating more issues, or the set where you're solving things and moving everything forward? That's your choice.
That's right. That's very. Oh crap! I gotta go. That was very good. Thank you so much.